Hello, this is David Cooper with the Social Media Connection, The David Cooper Show. Today, I am so excited to have one of the great teachers of the social media space. It's David Bullock. David, delighted to have you, man.
Thanks, David. Good to be here.
Thank you. You know, so many of the people that are viewers, they know you as an expert in putting together so many things that can drive traffic and measure the analytics of internet marketing. But what I respect you so much for is your amazing sales career before you really became one of the elite experts in internet marketing. And so if you would, I would just love it. You know, I've spent 36 years as a speaker, sales trainer, teaching people the soft sell method of selling. Oh my gosh, you've sold over if you would just indulge me a little bit and share with them, because this is amazing. I salute what you've done. Share with them how much you did and what were some of the core skills, principles that you used for that, and now have you done the amazing thing to apply some of those things into the social media marketing. So you got the floor, and just share with them, because it truly is incredible. If you want to really do well, have a pen. Whenever David Bullock is speaking, be writing, be writing, be writing. Enjoy.
Well, thanks, David. The number, $150 million in a 7-year period. I was an industrial salesperson right here in Tennessee. I had some of the major car industry, well, the manufacturers here, Nissan, BMW, Mercedes, those are my clients. Dave, as you asked, the things that I learned, first of all was patience. More than anything else, when you get ready to make that sale, it's not going to happen overnight. So there's no need to rush on anything. There was one deal that we were doing. It took 2 years to close. But in that 2 years, when the time is right, things actually work. You don't have to try to force anything. You're not going to twist anyone's arm to make a sale. When it's time to make the sale, it's going to happen. Hard closing, you can't force anyone to spend $1 million with you. You can't force anyone to spend $20 with you. It's the same principle. You have to be patient, take your time. It's not necessarily that the sales are hard. You got to learn all these techniques. What you have to learn to do, more importantly, is learn to talk to people, listen to their concerns and needs, because they're buying your thing, your widget, your product, your service, because they have a problem and you have a bridge to the solution. So that's what they're really buying. And if you realize that what you're doing is giving them a bridge to something that they want to have, then you'll know that you don't have to chase them. You don't have to, get on your knees and beg them for the sale. You don't have to twist their arm. What you have to do is be patient. And if you're patient, well, a backstory on this. For the first 18 months that I was here in Tennessee, in my first sales position, nothing happened. I was on the phone. I was visiting customers. Here it is, I'm in a territory that already had my product, and I couldn't even make an appointment. Now, I could have given up in that time, but what did I do? I kept calling, I kept trying, and then about 3 years, actually 18 months, well, almost 2 years into it, all of a sudden, the sales started to come. But that's because I was patient. Instead of trying to sell those people, I serviced them. Meaning I was there when things broke. I was there to answer their phone calls. I was just there as almost a service technician and not a salesperson. And what happened was, when the economy started to move and when they needed something to be done within the organization, they called on me. And then for the next 6 years, it was just a fun and wonderful time. Another thing I'd like to recount is that the market is not always in your favor. Sometimes there are things that are going on outside of you and the customer that you have nothing to do with. Like right now, the economy is on everyone's mind. The news, what's going on. When I first came here to this territory, the rest of the country was doing great. But because I was working with Japanese manufacturers, when their economy was up, ours was down. But it's also vice versa. Their economy was down because ours was up. Meaning my counterparts who were there in Detroit at that time were doing great. I wasn't doing anything at all. Now, I could have gotten discouraged during that time, but what did I do? I serviced the customer. I called, I followed up, I sent emails, and then it all turns around. So those are some of the things that I learned there. This was on the industrial sales side, but I'm finding that the very same things that work on the industrial sales side work in social media. You have to be patient. You don't come out selling all of a sudden when you come into a space. You take your time, you get to know the people, find out what they want, what they need, what they can afford, what their interests are, and be a provider of good information, good content. And at that point, everything can start to turn around in your favor. But again, be patient, be of service, be of good use, be useful. Make sure your content makes sense, because online in this space is all about content and context. Content is all around, but you have to actually be interesting so people can become interested, so that your context, the framing around it, makes sense to them. So that's what I've learned, Dave.
Oh man, you every time I hear you speak, whether it's whether I'm in an audience or in a situation something like this, I'm learning. When you talk about content, I hope that you would spend 60 to 90 seconds and sharing with the viewers your content in your book.
Oh.
And I want you to share with them just sort of a little bit of a glimpse into what it is, because if they want to have a phenomenal, here's exactly what this process was, and then how you relate that to the world of business development is just pretty incredible. So if you would, take 60 seconds and share with them about your book, because it really is beautiful, and it's one of those things that they need to have in their library for today's information of what can really help them have a confidence in what they can do in this topsy-turvy turmoil economic situation that we have today.
Got it. One of the things, we just published a book called Bullock 2.0, and you can find it over at www.bullock20.com. But more importantly, you can find it here on a link right here in the Social Media Connection. What the book is about is we actually track Barack Obama's use of social media, meaning what was he doing, how is he doing it, and the actual sequence as he used Twitter, MySpace, Facebook, and all the other social media platforms. And it's not a textbook. This is a workbook, meaning it's us in the moment following him step by step, and it shows what we were doing along with when he was doing it. So what that means is we're actually selling the book, the publication, using the same model that Barack Obama used, and it's going rather well. At the end of the day, social media is about connecting with people. That's really what it is. So if you can connect with people, this will work. Sales will come, and relationships come only when you take the time to invest in them. And then sales come after the relationship is in place. That's really what the book is about, and it's available right here on the Social Media Connection, where we have our channels now.
Well, it's exciting, and I want everyone to truly understand that book will provide so many answers for you. And one of the key things that you're wanting to have as a wellspring is education, information from the Social Media Connection. So I want you to go up there on the top toolbar to the store and go down and look at it, see it, look at it, see it, and then just punch submit, because it'll be one of those things that you will go back to again and again and again, reading that book and then beginning to implement some of the things in that book will help you become more of a knowledgeable person when you're sharing with others how the social media world can really be valuable in business. All right, everybody. Well, David, thank you so much for coming, man.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. This is the Social Media Connection. This has been David Cooper from davidcooper.com. Excited to be part of the team of shows, David Cooper Show.